Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome to my channel. You guys, I have a special treat for you today. We are going to be working on, well, probably, I don't know, probably not just one card, but I can't say, it's too early. We just got started. But I'm going to be working on a special card today. If you were here a couple of live videos ago, I was talking about like me and my husband's love story. And then Heidi Robbins, one of our friends, was like, but I have an amazing love story. And I said, well, send me your love story and I'll make you a card based on your love story. So actually, her lovely husband, Jimmy sent it, and it is more than a story, it's a testimony. And so it's just really beautiful, and it's just very uplifting and very cool. So I'm going to make a card based on their love story. I've already gathered, which is so unlike me, but I've already gathered a couple of supplies to work with. I went through my Tim Holtz people. I grabbed this couple because I really like them. And I grabbed the two different sizes that I had because I thought, well, you never know which scale exactly you're going to need. And then I grabbed one more that's even smaller and a different color, though they don't make me as happy as these two. So I've got a couple of people to work with. I got clocks because this story spans over decades. And then I just went through and grabbed some other things that maybe I'll use, maybe I won't. I just don't know yet. But yeah, I just grabbed some different things, and I even grabbed my Easter Blessings paper pad because I think I'm going to use one of the old rugged crosses in there. All right, so that's what we're doing. That's how we're starting our day. The twists and turns, I can't tell you because I don't know. I don't know how they'll twist and turn, but this is where we're starting. Let me say hello to everyone in the chat. Let me find my video. That's always helpful. And say hello, hello. Well, hello, Kim. Good morning. And Melinda, how are you? Ava Lee, hi. Hey, Maddie. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jonah. Hi, Empty Nest Raptor. Hey, Esther. Hi, Linda Veal. So good to see you guys. Hey, Beck-Ann. Hi, Reagan. Hi, Elena. So good to see all of y'all. Good morning, and afternoon. Okay, let's get started. I don't like to dilly-dally. I like to just start making. So let's do that. All right, I think we're gonna create some fun. I know we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. It's crafting. Of course it's fun. Okay, let me get to a place. This is the page that I was thinking of. I also love, oh my goodness, I just keep dropping things. I also love this chapel. So who knows, that might even make it into the card, but this is where we're starting. This goes over here. Hey, Cordelia. Hey, Diane. How you doing? All right. So, this might work. I really want to keep this to like a 5x7 because one of the things I like about making a 5x7 card is that you can frame it. So if they wanted to frame it, if they like it that much, they could. You know, maybe in their home office or somewhere, wherever they want it. not saying it's going to be that amazing, but I'm just, you know, if they're sentimental like me, I'm pretty sentimental. I'm very nostalgic. Did you guys have a nice Valentine's Day? We went and saw the new Captain America, and for whatever reason, I'll tell you what, my anxiety flared up on me, and I honestly had a hard time enjoying the movie because of it. I'm not gonna lie. It's not my thing. Here's the thing. Really not my jam. But if 3 out of 4 family members are into it and want to go, then I'm not going to be the one to stand in their way. And I'm not going to sit at home. So I went. I most certainly did. I went with them. Okay. And why anxiety? I don't know. All I know is it's lame. And I don't like it. Okay. So I've got a few crosses I can work with. I've got a little chapel I can work with too. Although they weren't married at the chapel, their faith is both very important to them. I love this doorway. So a lot of the stamps I actually pulled today are made by Blue Fern Studios. And so if you're not familiar, Blue Fern Studios is a wonderful company here in the States, and they make really cool, like vintage styled stamps and papers. Jen Bishop, who owns Dreams, etc., also designs for them. Like she's the artist who draws everything. Not everything that Blue Fern produces, but she does do a lot with them. Okay, I'm going to put the name of this back in here because I just like to know. Okay, so that's going to go there. I'm thinking this archway could be really cool. Here's the problem. I want to throw everything at this card, and I won't be able to put everything in it. But let's take a look. I'm already thinking I kind of want the smaller of the two. Yeah, I'm thinking this is more like it. Hey, Flo. We are illustrating a love story. I did want the clocks as well. So let's get these out. I really like this packaging. This was Kaiser Craft. I don't know. This is the Duchess collection. This is old Australia. I don't know if they're still in business or not. I don't even remember where I bought this. I'm going to say I actually bought it off of Etsy. But I'm thinking we're going to want some clocks to kind of represent time. This is an acrylic stamp, so I want to kind of be careful when I peel it off. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Well, Craft Roulette was lots of fun last night with Jay. I didn't get to watch in real time because we were at the theater. However, I watched the entire episode this morning as I was cleaning my craft room. So responsible. Such a responsible crafter this morning. All right, I'm going to pull back out this. I've got to work on watercolor for this kind of card. So I'm pulling out this 11 by 15 inch paper so that I can get 4 5 by 7 backgrounds. We're only going to need one, obviously, for one card, but I just like this size. So here we go. Vicki Reuter. It's arriving today. Yay. Yeah, I've been sending everything out like the same day that y'all order it. I was hoping you would get it by this weekend, many of you. I think one order came in overnight, but otherwise everything is on its way. I'm going to have to order more paper, which is a good problem to have. And I appreciate all the support, but yeah, I'm going to need to order more paper. Good thing I had set some aside for my design team members because we are getting close to a sellout. Thank you guys so much. That means the world to me, and I'm just glad you like it. There's always a little bit of like, it's always a little nerve-wracking going, are they gonna like it? Am I the only one that's gonna like this? So it's always refreshing to know that y'all are gonna like it, or that you do like it after I've made it. All right. So yeah, I really like, this is all my scraps, and really these aren't bad scraps to have. Like with my watercolor paper scraps like this, it's nice to kind of keep these off to the side and do like ink cleanup with them and then use them. But now I have 4 5x7 watercolor bases, which is really nice. And I do think I'll make this card edge to edge because it may be framed. So I don't want to do my typical borders. I'm just assuming that. We'll see where it goes. Hi, Terrence. You got yours yesterday. Awesome. Yay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, you guys. We are going to take this clock and we're going to stamp this around. Let's kind of lay things. This is how I like to work. I like to kind of lay things out. You know what? I think we might need the big cross. I kept it out just in case. But I'm thinking we might need this big cross. I love these little kiddos like heading off their Easter egg hunting in the sunset. It could be sunrise. It could be early birds like me. Either way, it's just precious. Okay. Yeah, we might want this. I think we might want this big cross, which if you had read his testimony, which I think all I have to say is it's a testimony, right? Then you would know how important faith is. And I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the story as we go here. So Jimmy and Heidi, 2 sweethearts who were young and in love. And Jimmy went to ask for Heidi's hand in marriage from her mother and was shot down. Nope, not happening. And so their paths went different directions. So that's where the number 43 comes in, which we are going to bring. I think I will bring in that number to this card. So after the refusal from the mom, 43 years and many miles and many, you know, things had come to pass with them living their lives separate from one another. Yeah, I love the old rugged cross back here. And it may just end up right in the center because it is a very centering point, I think, for them and their love story. Okay, so let's just, hey, that's pretty on both sides. Okay, I'm gonna put that over here in my little, so check this out, y'all. Look at these scraps. They're bulging out of this thing, so I need to use them. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna do that together. All right. Hey, Jill Pounds. Say hi to John for us too. Hi, Miss Gloria. Hi, Emily. Hey, Miss Gloria. Pam, did I say hi? Hi, Pam. I don't remember. Okay. If I did, will you get, I have to say hi twice. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, we're going to put this clock around. I think we're like, I don't think this is going to take very long. We're not going to need these little crosses or the chapel, I don't think. Now, what we're going to focus on, you guys, is building the background, because I think my focal points are decided. And then I do think I'll put a 43 in there. Oh boy. This is a nice photopolymer, so my paper just stuck to it. Okay, and I'm going to poke out that section that you're supposed to poke out. There we go. So that's our couple, our lovely little couple. And we're going to put all this aside, and I'm going to need to stamp out this, obviously. Where am I going to put that? But let's work on our background for now. Hey, TR. How you doing? Okay, let's see. I want to use an ink that is not water reactive for this stage of stamping. So I'm going to use my VersaFine because it works really well with watercolor. And I'm going to stamp my clock like right up here. Now this is watercolor paper, and it's bumpy because it's cold press. But hey, that's a great impression, because where it's broken up, it's supposed to be broken up. That's how the stamp is designed. So that was a perfect impression. I like acrylic stamps. I know I always say that, but like, I don't get bad results with them. Typically. Give me a minute as I give this some thought. I do think I'm going to bring in, I haven't gotten one out yet, but I do think I'm going to bring in a stencil, you guys. I'm trying to decide at what stage I want to stencil, but I do think we're going to need to do some stenciling here. And I think I'm going to stencil with this kind of brick look. Whoa. Oh boy. Craft-A-Latch. Oh my goodness. It's very, very precarious situation over here. You guys. Hold on. Let me batten down the hatches real quick. Okay. Crisis avoided. You'd love to see Dr. Shrubcraft again? Well, let me work on that, Cordelia. I think he would craft again. I think he would do it. I got my kids involved in the packing of y'all's orders. And, well, let me just say I hope they went right, because it was one of those things, like, it was my son's first time to do it. And you know, when you're raising kids, you have to like give them like opportunities to, you know, really not feel like they're being double checked and triple checked and everything. But I was watching close enough. But just know that if you ordered from me this week, chances are my kids are the ones that packed your order. They want to be involved. They want to get involved, and that's a good thing. And so I kind of, you know, released the reins and let them get involved with training and a little oversight. Oh my goodness. I just knocked over my whole pile of scraps over here. Ah, that was funny. Okay. Everything's fine. All right, let's stamp this down. This is like a calamity here today. Calamity Jane at it again. Oh, not being able to sleep is horrible. Horrible. My body doesn't hold on to iron, so I have to take iron supplements. And I took my iron supplement the other day, like later in the day. That was such a bad decision, because I couldn't sleep that night. I'm sensitive. I told my husband it's just because my body's so used to operating with like so little iron that when I take it, it's just like a jolt of energy. I just got some new, well, I haven't gotten them yet, but they're coming. A new supplement called Primal Queen. And if you're a vegan or vegetarian, this will totally gross you out. But it's basically beef organs that are freeze dried and ground up and put in pill form. But it's supposed to help, and it's supposed to have a lot of iron and other things, other vitamins that we need. If anybody takes Primal Queen, let me know. It was recommended by one of my coworkers. That's who recommended it to me. Oh, Paula, no, I didn't know that. Oh, thanks, Jill. We had a good time. When Mary reached out to me to ask if Dr. Shrub would come on the show, it was our anniversary. And I was like, well, if ever I'm going to ask him to do such a thing, you asked me on the right day because it's our anniversary. He can't really tell me no on our anniversary. And that episode was for April Fools. And we just had a really good time. And I always reference back to that for beginner crafters because my husband had never made a card before. And the first card he ever made was on Craft Roulette. And I just like to encourage people because, you know, Craft Roulette really is for all abilities, all ages. You don't have to be like a super crafter to craft for Craft Roulette. And I love that about Craft Roulette. They have a lot of super crafters as guests, but when it comes to the nuts and bolts of it, you don't have to be a super crafter. And so I love that episode, and I love that my husband did that because I just think it's so encouraging, you know, to see someone make their first card. And Andy did a really great job, and we had fun. So yeah, that was a really special moment, really, for me anyways. He actually has both of our cards that we made that night out in his music studio. So I know he thinks back on it fondly as well. Okay, so we've got a lot of fun things going on now in our background. We've got some random stamping and we've got texture paste. And this is one that's almost dried up, this texture paste. So the good thing about that is I'm using it and it dries quickly because it's halfway dry anyways. It's just kind of a nickname I gave him, Jennifer, because let me try to condense the story. So when we moved into our new home, that was 2018, and we just kind of had like, you know, builder grade landscaping. But we had a lot of flowers in our front flower beds. And every day after work, I would go and I would sit on the front porch for a little while and just take in the flowers. And he was like, one day he came out and he's like, why do you always sit on the front porch instead of like in the backyard where there's like privacy and stuff? And I was like, because the front porch has flowers. So he's like, okay, I got you. So for the next, well, still to this day, so for like the last 5 years, my husband's been planting me flower gardens all over. And we kind of have been doing it together, and it became our hobby that we do together. But I also have this hobby, and this one is measurably more fun. But I do love having a shared hobby with my hubby of gardening. Anyways, so we've kind of been turning our yard into the secret garden. Like my daughter, when she was younger, she was like, she'd always get a little anxious when we bring new plants home, because we bring them home by the truckload. And she was like, you guys, we're going to have monkeys in our yard. And we were like, it's okay, honey. We're in Texas. There's no monkeys. But if she's like, but if there are, they're going to come to our house. And over the years, he's had to doctor all those plants that because we live in Texas and we've had drought and we've bought a lot of plants that weren't native. Now we pretty much strictly buy native, or ones that are known like have a proven value to last, because our summers can be so harsh. So he has to steward all of those flowers he's been planting. And so I don't know, I just called him Dr. Shrub because I think he's constantly trying to rescue the plants that we go out and get every spring. And for our anniversary every year, we go plant shopping and we buy a new tree or a bush or something. Our anniversary is March 3rd, and we always like to plant something. So that's how, it's a long story, I guess, even when I tried to keep it short. But yeah, that's how I coined him Dr. Shrub. I grew up, one of my brothers just like, I don't know if everybody calls anybody by their real name. He always has a nickname for everyone. So I kind of do, I like nicknames as well. And so we have a lot of them around here. Our dog probably has like 25 nicknames I've given her. And just depending on my mood, this is another piece of watercolor paper, by the way. I call people whatever. Whatever strikes me. I have different names for people, so. I hope you don't regret asking that question, but that's the answer. John, this is encouraging you. He is a musician, not by trade, but by heart. He has been a musician by trade before, though. He's grown up in music. His mother she's a retired music teacher who taught in the public school system for 30 plus years. And then his mother and father, I knew that wasn't going to do great. That's okay. I think we can still make it work. I was trying to get the mat underneath it. let's see what we can do here. But he grew up playing the violin, so he played the violin all the way through college as well. So he plays the classical violin, but his love is hip hop. But he was in an American and French band for a couple of years, and he would combine his classical violin to create some of the background music or layers. And he's a lyricist, so he's just an incredible writer and lyricist. An MC. That's not, I know, it's kind of bad, but it's also not. We're going to be able to make this work. We're going to force it to work. Not because I don't have plenty of paper or that there's not another side over here, but I just want to show you that you can make this blurry mess work. So this is going to get cut out. I'm cutting it out first because I want to do some real like distressing to the edges of it. And I don't want to distress on the edges of the paper because they're not going to be there. I want to distress on the edges of the, basically the ephemera, the stamped ephemera I'm making for myself. So it's an important that I cut that out before I start distressing. So yeah, that's how he got that nickname. The funny thing is my friend Beth, Happy Place Crafting Beth, is, she thought he was a doctor. Until like a couple of weeks ago, she honestly thought my husband was a doctor, which cracked all of us up because he's not a doctor. Me, my kids, my hubby, we all laugh so hard. She goes live like in the afternoon, which she wasn't live this week. I hope she's okay. I hope she's not sick or anything. Anyways, my husband was coming in from work and my kids were home from school, and we had the best time laughing at that whole episode where we were uncovering things. I always thought she lived like in Oregon or on the West Coast, but she really doesn't. She lives in Ohio. And so I think that was the other thing that we learned during that. Like, she found out my husband's not a doctor, and I found out what state she lives in. It was funny. Maybe you had to be there. Anyways, Pam, Messy wants to know if Dr. Schaub, oh, he loved his Galactic, the Super Valentine's Day card. Yeah, he loved it. And then, you know, part of the reason why I went that way with it was because I knew we were going to see Captain America. So it kind of fit the vibe of the day, but it was also just perfect. Okay. So here we go. I am going to, I think I'm going to pull in my watercolors. And the reason being is because I want to show you that you can distress even if you don't have like all the sprays and all the things. Like, you can still distress. I guess we'll use these. We'll use the Mission Gold watercolors. Yeah, you don't have to have all the inks and all the sprays and all the things to distress. You can just distress with watercolor. I think watercolor is definitely, I mean, I guess you all know how much I love it, but that's not a mystery around here. But I think it's a really good investment. And I'm going to just distress or put my watercolor right in here. This is where I had some gold ink yesterday for the card we were making. And it's going to reactivate that, and I don't mind at all. And then now I'm going to pull in some of these browns over here. We've got a red brown. I love that burnt umber too. I'm just gonna put some on my mat. This is a silicone mat from the Dollar Tree right here, this blue one, $1.25. I love it. I have 2 of them. And let's kind of clean it off in there a little bit. Ooh, that's gonna make a pretty color. Okay, I'm getting probably way more color than I need. Sorry, avoiding a sneeze. This is the red brown, which I was really loving this red brown right here too. And then I want some of the sepia because that's just gorgeous. And now I'm going to clean this one off in here. We're going to have a real different color in here. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Gosh, that's like a little triangle of magic, and my camera is not picking it up, but it is pretty magical color. Okay, sepia next. I'll put that right over here. All right, that's, I'm sure, enough watercolor. But yeah, watercolor is great, you guys, because you can use it to color your images, to make fun backgrounds, to distress. I mean, it's just a wonderful medium. So all we've done is stamped with a permanent black ink that's not water reactive. Important, because we're adding water, which my favorite one is the VersaFine Onyx Black. So I stamped my image in that. And now we've created this vat of color that's really beautiful. And this is going to take a couple of layers, and we're going to pass by this a couple of times with color to really get some distressing. I'm thinking about what color I want to add to my background of my paper, this being the one I'm speaking of. I don't know, so that's why I jumped to this, because I knew I wanted this to be like old grungy stone. I think, what if we do like a light blue and then go in with the browns around the stone and stuff? And maybe we'll do that. Jay, you did amazing. I watched the entire thing. I enjoyed all the cat talk. I enjoyed every minute of it, buddy. You did awesome. And I love that it's a bookbinding card. You know I do. I love that. I mean, I never doubted for a second that you would do a great job, but it was just so fun. I love seeing, you know, everybody on Craft Roulette. So great job. I'm sure you enjoyed it. Mary is just a fabulous host. A hostess with the mostest. Okay, so I'm just darkening the edges here. And we've pretty much successfully made a mess and used up everything in that vat of color. Yay. And we've got a good start on this grunging up this piece. So I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, I have a lot of watercolor on here that I still plan to use, but I'm going to move all this to this side for now. I'm going to let this dry. And I'm going to come back to it. I'm just do a light coat here, because watercolor always dries back lighter than when you initially lay it down. Okay. I'm just going to pick up this whole little silicone mat. I'm going to move the whole thing out of the way. That's looking lovely. Okay, let's now go for this. I think I want a light blue. I wonder how clean. This brush does not look clean. Oh, cool. It is dirty, but it has blue. Nice. That's the color I wanted. Well, looky there. I guess I could say this is my lucky day. All right. There could be a Craft-A-Lanch when I decide to do this, but I'm kind of one to use these. And let's refer, there's not a lot of blue in there. There's just this blue violet, which I like because this is a love card. We are celebrating love with this card. Heidi and Jimmy's love story. Oh, let me read a few comments and then I'll get back to talking a little bit more about their love story, because I left off at the mom said no to him proposing to her daughter. And so they had 43 years apart, living separate lives. That's where we left off. But before I get there, this is not really blue. This is purple. We can all tell that. I'm not going to worry about hitting between the stone because the stone is going to get a different color. We're going to go back to brown for the stone areas. So I'm only focusing this color around. We're going to have to mix up some more of this color. You've really got, with these colors, if you get these granulating colors from Kiritaki, you've really got to add water to get the granulation, to get the separation of color. So you really got to pour it on. So that's what we're going to do. Here's one of the things I like to do. I just like to spray a bunch of water in there, kind of let it pull up pigment. Oh, hi, Carmina. I'm so glad. Oh, thanks, John. I'm kind of going back to catch up with you guys. And it may seem like, whoa, what is she doing right now? I am putting enough to really get the granulation that I want. And you kind of have to go heavy and you have to go all in with this particular watercolor palette. This one right here. You can't dance around it lightly. I mean, you can, but you won't get the results. You have to go just all in if you want the most dramatic results. And this is I got mine on Amazon, but this is the palette. And it is one of my favorites. I hope they come out with more colors. These are the only ones they have right now. They've been out about a year. I'm really hoping they come out with more. Okay, but when you go all in and you put plenty of water, what will happen is you'll start to see those colors separate. So now we're getting the blue and the pink and the purple, the drama. Okay, I'm just gonna pick some of that up. And I don't want it to be even. I like that it's, you know, not even and that we've got drama. It's exactly what I want. I don't like drama in my life, but I like drama on my cards. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up. I've got the watercolor paper out, and I'm just going to color up a piece or two. These are the scraps. I love me some watercolor scraps. 5 inches of snow, Jay. Oh my gosh. Look, I'm going to get caught up to y'all. Okay. Oh, Jay, you're sweet. List. Which one of my papers were you thinking of for list? But I loved lettering. I loved that you got lettering, Jay. And that is such a good one because it's easy and fun. You know? That was a really good parameter. Actually, I think that might have, well, I love bookbinding. But yeah, I really loved that parameter. Okay, now I'm going to bring back out, and I promise I am going to get caught up with y'all, and I'm going to tell more of their story too. Okay, but I'm going to reactivate my watercolor in these little sections here. This is light, medium, dark. I'm going to come in here. And kind of fill in these brick areas. Oh, John, man, I'm sorry. Me too. I got about 6 more hours before my work week is done. I'm back in overtime because we're just so busy. Yeah, I get you, buddy. And it's good to take some time and rest. Take good care of yourself. Now, I was imagining these areas darker, so I am going to probably come back and go over these again with a darker, the sepia is dark enough, but it needs to be more concentrated. And while this purple is still a little wet, it's probably a good time to kind of blend my edges here. All right, I like it. And this is going to go here. We don't want them the same exact color because we need the contrast. So this couple is going to go right here. And I need contrast between this and these two pieces. To me, that's not enough contrast. They blend too well. So what that tells me is I think I'm going to darken this piece more, which means if I'm going to darken this piece more, I can darken this one more as well. So let's work on that. Bring back my watercolor. That's true, Jay. He said the only thing sad about craft roulette is that you can't do it all the time. Yeah, Mary gets the honor, right, of getting to do it week after week. But yeah, it is just that much fun that, you know, you want to do it as often as possible. I get it. For me, I've had the honor of being on there many times, and I enjoy, you know, seeing different people. So I just consider it, you know, like, got to share this experience. Other people need to get to have this experience because it's magical. Okay, and now we'll darken this. And I do like, I like where this is going. I don't know if y'all like where this is going, but I like where this is going. We're gonna have to add flowers, aren't we? We still have numbers, and I have a Bible verse that they included that I want to fit in as well. Okay, so let's darken this piece. This piece is gonna dry. Kismet. Oh. Yeah, Flo. When you get a bunch of snow, Jay, it just means you get to stay inside. Hopefully you do anyways. I know Flo's in Florida, so that's what she's thinking. And I'm in Texas, so that's what I'm thinking. But you live like what, in Wisconsin? So y'all probably just have to go out in it. Okay. This is where we're going to take the plunge, and we're going to go even darker on this piece. It's like a leap of faith. And then I'm going to come and bring this, and I'm going to darken this too. Yeah. And now let's hold our couple. Yeah. Now our couple stands out more. I think we might put some flowers behind them, and that will help them pop off the page even more. And I have a flower in mind, actually. Now, I was putting up scraps earlier today. I came across a flower that was in my scrap pile. I might go grab that. All right, let's add a little water to this situation. And now I'm going to come back in with this one more time. And I'm going to hit the edges of this paper too and give it kind of a vignette look. I always love that look. Where the edges are darker. Okay. So this is where we're headed. Let me grab that flower because I think it's actually perfect for this color palette. Well, shucks, I lost that flower. Hold on. I know where to find more. Oh my gosh, I have to tell y'all something. I was getting like migraines. I had 5 days of migraines, you guys. And I think I finally figured it out. I have some neck issues. Well, the one I had seen in my scraps was like this, but it was much bigger. So let's consider some flowers. Flowers are kind of always the answer with me. But yeah, so I've been stretching my neck and it's helping. My migraines have been relieved. I am so happy. Okay, I only have one of those blue ones. I kind of do want the big one that is lost in my scraps, but we're going to have to settle for this one. And it's not bad. I like it. I don't know that we'll use that one. I just like to have options. Okay, so this is where we're headed. What do y'all think? But still, yet too, we have this cross because that's at the center of their story. Let me get it caught up with y'all a little more, and then I'm going to dive back in and tell more of their love story because they sent it for us, and they sent it so I can make a card. So 43 years. Jimmy had a wife during that time. Heidi had 3 children during that time, and both found themselves single. And I love this next part that he wrote. So he stumbles upon her on Facebook, 43 years later. And he gets the courage to send her a message on Facebook. And it took her months to see it. Like, Heidi, we are cut from the same cloth, girlfriend. I just realized the other day that I have been missing like messages on Messenger for years. I don't know. I just don't keep up. For one, I'm not on Facebook unless I absolutely have to be. And yeah, so messages get lost on me all the time. It's probably a fault in my character, as some might see it, but like Jay was saying last night on Craft Roulette, like I admire people who can be everywhere all the time doing all the social stuff on social media, but I really can't because part of it's me. But the other part is like I have a job. I work about 60 hours a week. I have a homeschooled child. I have a child in public school. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I have a lot of roles. And I just can't be everywhere all the time. And I also have to something I'm coming to realize is I'm really going to have to start taking care of myself. I've had youth on my side and I didn't have to really think about it, but now I'm going to have to actually start thinking about it and putting effort there. So I can't do all the things, and I have to be like okay with myself about that. Like, it's okay. Anyway, so when I read the story and it took Heidi months to see his message and respond, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. That would be me. And I get it. And so finally they connect, and I guess it was just like no time had passed, and they talked on the phone for hours upon hours. And well, first they sent messages back and forth, and then they had exchanged numbers and started talking on the phone. And Jimmy was at this point where he had really, because his first wife had passed of pancreatic cancer and there'd been a lot of suffering there, I think, and he had just really kind of lost his faith. And he told God, like, you need to show up, buddy. Show up and show out. Let me know you're really actually there. And lo and behold, it was Heidi. He had made that prayer before he reconnected with her. And once they did, and she was strong in her faith, and telling him they'd faced many trials over this last few years that they've been together. Since 2018, like, they've been facing a lot of health trials and different things. And I think our overarching thing is like in one of the doctor's visits, she was like, they were both kind of really taken back by the diagnosis and the news. And she was like, God's got this. God's got this. And that's kind of been their motto through all of the, which I understand, like you're reunited with the love of your life, and then the unthinkable strikes, right? And it's just like, what? But has deepened and returned him to his faith, and they're very active in their church, and it's just a beautiful love story, and one that's built on faith. So that's why I had to bring in that cross. And we do still have yet a couple of things to add to this collage, so I need to start bringing them in. I wanted to force this to dry. I want you to see the separation that I'm talking about. So once you add enough water to those watercolors, then you're going to get the blue, the light blue, the purple, the dark purple. Like, it'll really start working its magic, but it has to have water. It's the opposite of a gremlin. All right, here we are. This is where we're headed, but we now need to add more. So let's do that. I think this is going to go here, and our little couple's going to go here. Okay. And then we need a verse on here. I'm going to move this down. Yeah, like that. Turn. There. I like that. I have this other flower. Let's put this over here for now. All right. So the Bible verse was Jeremiah 29:11, because he does have a plan. There is a plan. It's not, you know, and sometimes it takes time to see the plan, but it's there. All right, so let me grab a scrap of paper. And thanks, Heidi and Jimmy, for sending me your love story. That was really sweet how that just kind of organically came to pass. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there where you can still see it. I'm going to move this up. This is just a scrap, obviously. And I'm going to stamp out Jeremiah 29:11. These are my Journal Say woodblock stamps. I love these. I'm actually going to use a different memento. I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black for this, simply because it dries faster and I'm less likely to mess it up putting my fingers on it. Okay, H-I-J. Now, I really want to work also. We'll see how much more time we have, but with my new paper pads, I want to play with them. I know, we've got time. But still. I got to play with them a little bit. That's where the cross came from. All right. I'm putting back my letters because these just do better if you replace them as you go. Do y'all have any special plans today? What are y'all doing today? Freezing rain? That doesn't sound very good. Oh, I love cardinals too. My mom always likens that to, it just reminds her of my father. She did a memorial garden in her backyard. It's so beautiful for my father, and she has a really beautiful red cardinal statue back there. And for Christmas, I actually found these red cardinal salt and pepper shakers. And if you were here the other day, I was telling you that my mom likes to do tablescapes. That's her kind of, well, that and crochet are kind of her artistic expressions. how she artistically expresses herself. And so she makes these gorgeous tablescapes. And I had found some cardinal salt and pepper shakers at Christmas that I put in our stocking just to kind of be like, you know, a gift from Dad kind of thing. Jeremiah 29:11. Where's my dot dot? There's the dot dot. Woohoo! If I didn't have a dot dot, I have a pen, right? But still, there's a dot dot, so we'll use it. All right, so now we have our verse recorded. It was right at the top of their story. It's a big part of I think of Jim's testimony overall. So I wanted to make sure to include it. Hi, Gail. Thank you. Oh, really? You subscribed to? Oh, I love Somerset. Oh, I love it. I actually went big this year and subscribed to a couple of their magazines because I really do enjoy them. And I think I'll put this right down here like they're standing on it. Like it's, again, another anchor. I think we need to distress it though, so it just blends a little better. Hey, Debbie Trapp. Your high today is 14. I'd ask my robot, because that's how I usually find out the weather, is I ask my robot. With a capital A, that robot. But she's in the other room. My daughter, before she went to school yesterday, asked if we could do a different voice on her. So we asked what voices she had, and we didn't like any of them. We went right back to the original. It's like we've had an Alexa in our house for many years. And she's always had the same voice. So it just feels like not right to change it up now. It's just who she is. Okay, I want to pull out the number 43. Ooh, I don't think I have any in that one. Let's see. So I'm going to my journal say, by the way. Oh, this will have to do. I'm pretty sure I have a 4 and a 3 in there. Oh, those are big. Hold on. I think they might be too big. We're almost there, you guys. For those who are wondering, I am making a card, Susan. I'm making a 5x7, and it's full edge to edge. Now, I have not yet glued anything to a card base, but I am making a card. Glad you asked. Oh gosh, this feels way too big. Yeah, that's too big. I just wanted to see if they could do a J and an H, but they're just too big. They're all different sizes. There's only one of each letter. So I think that's just too big. It like takes over the whole composition, and we don't want that. We're telling a story here. Can't have that. Wanted to try it. Don't know till you try. I don't know. Hopefully not, because Jennifer, it took me forever to tell it. Okay, We're looking in here for the 4 and the 3. Oh, I know. I believe me. You want to see that picture I couldn't find yesterday? Me too, because I kind of started to stress out about it because that was taken before digital cameras were a thing. That was taken on like actual film, and I'm sure I don't have the film anymore. And I think all I had was that one copy of the picture. So yeah, I want to find that too. And as soon as I do, I'll share it with you guys. Now I'm really hoping it did not make it into my craft room. Ooh, I like the 43. Yeah, now I'm really hoping it did not make it in here. Do I want 43 or do I want 18? Hold on. Now I'm like, I don't know, maybe I don't want 43. Because that kind of represents their years apart. They came back together in 18. And that more represents like them being reunited. Let me double check my numbers, which means I have to navigate away from here. Oh, but that picture is so much fun. So my husband, I didn't fully explain it yesterday, but he was my boyfriend at the time. But he was carrying me on his back because I had been wearing high heels, and we were in downtown Austin, and we had been out all night with a bunch of friends and out, and my feet were hurting, and I was just 100 pounds back then. So he's like, just jump on my back. And so he was carrying me on his back. And I guess one of our friends took the picture. And it was perfect because you could see my shaved head and you could see the Sacred Heart on my head and our whole outfit. And it's just so fun. And it just really captured like what our dating experience was like. So I really need to find that. Prod, prod, poke. Yes, amen. God's got this. And that was one of the things. Let me navigate to the letter from Jem, and I will share a little more. I'm going to zoom past some of this. Sorry. Oh, go to sleep, Pam. I'm sure she's long gone and very much asleep. Hi, Dawn. Yeah, Dawn, some nights are like that. Some nights are like that. Okay, I am going to navigate to this letter real quick. Where is it? Okay, here it is. I want to make sure I have their years right. Oh, I didn't. I don't have it right. It was 2020. Guess who's calling me? She didn't message him till 2021. Okay. So maybe we need 21 in here. I like overlapping these numbers. I think that looks really cool. But I want to share this message at the end of his letter with you guys real quick because I think it is incredibly uplifting, and I think we're all going through different things at different times, and I thought it was very encouraging. He says, well, that's it. That's our testimony, and my hope is that it brings you hope. Just remember, God will never leave you or forsake you because he has plans for you. When you're feeling like that things are hopeless, just remember these 3 words: God's got this. And no prayer is too small or too long. So pray daily. Don't let thoughts in your head steal the joy and love in your heart that comes from our Father God. Stay strong and have a blessed day. And I just thought I definitely want to share that. So Jimmy's been going through battling cancer. They've battled COVID together. You know, they've had a lot of trials since they've been reunited. And, you know, it's, but love prevails, right? And I was thinking after reading their story, and I was contemplating it yesterday because it was like Valentine's Day. And I was just thinking, like, our Father God loves us so much that, you know, and he told us to love. And so I think that that's what, to me, makes like there being a day that celebrates love and so great. You know, Valentine's Day, not the Hallmark, not the, I mean, the chocolate, don't get me wrong, the chocolate is great. But like a day to celebrate love, because we were commanded to love one another. And I love a love story. I love love. I just really, truly do. Okay, am I doing 21 or 43? Because he says, this is our story of God's plan for a couple that took 43 years to begin. Y'all tell me, should I do 21, the year that they were reunited? I wish Heidi was here, or Jim. Or should I do 43? But Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, and plans to give you hope and a future. And I just love that verse. So the inspiration for our card today, Jim and Heidi's love story. I'm seeing a lot of 43s. I see a 21 and I see a 43. Heidi, Jim, I know you're probably busy with your lives, but if you could pop in. Okay, that luckily that has to be the last thing. So I'm going to leave those up there. I'm thinking 43 because he mentioned it twice in his letter. It seems like an important part for him. Even though in my mind it symbolizes their time apart. All right, let's do this thing. So my hubby was just calling. I love him with all of my heart, but he calls me every Saturday when I'm doing a live. I guess he just really wants to be here with us. He doesn't know that, but okay. So gluing down the cross. You know what? Before I glue anything else down, I do kind of want to hit this and give this the vignette look. Let's do that real quick. So I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper. This one's taken a beating. That's fine. And my distress ink. I'm just giving Heidi more time to realize I'm live. Oh, I know. Jay, are you really 29? Is that your age? I joke that I'm 29, but I'm really 46. Because if you're 29, Jay, you're basically still like a child. You're young. I won't call you a child, but you've got youth on your side, Jay, if you really are 29. Or are you on 29? Are you on repeat of 29? I'm on 29 repeat. You're really 44. Okay. so you're on 29 repeat. Okay. Me too, Jay. I don't know if I'll ever grow up. I mean, I don't really want to. It seems like a hoax. It's a trick. Peter Pan's been trying to tell me my whole life. I can't help it. I kind of want to go over the bricks with a little bit of this. Give the bricks a little more drama. All right. I think we did it. I think we did what I wanted to do anyways. All right. Exactly. Right, Maddie? Like, Jay, I really had to ask you because, yeah, you could have been 29 from the looks of it. That's a good thing. Just making sure I have everything kind of basically back where I wanted it. I think I liked the cross higher, but it's glued down now, so we're just going to have to live with it. And I think it's crooked. So there's that. What did we decide? 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. Right? Right, Jennifer? I'm going to put some foam tape behind this. Look how, do y'all remember? I just started this foam tape not that long ago. And it is shrinking rapidly. I need to place another order. I buy these on Amazon. It's pretty inexpensive and works just fine. So I get my foam tape on Amazon. They come in those giant rolls. And I like that it's low profile. I don't make a lot of shaker cards or anything real fancy. So I just want a little lift. Hey, Carrie. How's it going? Thanks, Ave. Okay. We're glad you're here, Jill. Gotta go clean your carpet. You have a great weekend, too. Okay, that's gonna go down here. Man, I really wish I could move up that cross. But it's glued. I mean, PVA, my glue does not play. It's permanent. It's not gonna allow that. And this flower goes over here. Okay. Just a little bit of white right where I don't really want it on there. There. Just knock it back with a little bit of brown. Oh, that's sweet. My mom just got a sweet new dog. Now she's actually really special because she actually belonged to my niece, but my niece moved and her situation's changed, and so she so my brother was taking care of her. It was his daughter's dog. And then he just kept feeling like she should be with mom, and because they have like a special connection, and her and this dog doesn't really connect with people easily. So the fact that that they had this special connection, he just felt like they should probably be together. And sure enough, she's just immediately right at home. So Buttercup has a sister, you all. Buttercup's still my dog. Still laying claim over that dog. I love Buttercup so much. But yeah, Buttercup's so happy she has a sister. Which is really good because Buttercup needs like a lot of affection. That's true, Maddie. I could totally do that. Well, yeah. Okay. I think this is going to go here. I think it's, yeah, I like it. Okay. And I think we're going to have to pop the bride up because she's going to be hanging off back there. So she needs to be popped up. So she's even with that frame that he will be glued to. So Heidi's in the collage club, the vintage collage club of Marguerite Miller's. And then Heidi, I have bumped into her in different places on the internet. Like one time we were watching Ryan Hall, y'all, at the same time and making donations. And I was like, is that my Heidi Robbins? I don't know, but I don't want to freak out somebody if it's not my Heidi Robbins, because they'd be like, I don't know you. Why are you talking to me? But then I asked her, she popped into a live and I was like, was that you? She's like, yeah, that was me. Oh, okay. So I always call her my Heidi ever since then. I'm like, is that my Heidi Robbins? I just like the number 4 and 3 as part of it. I can't remember where I connected these before that I liked it so much, but I think we're going to go with the 43 because he kept, that is the number that was on repeat. And that's the number that stuck in my head. So I think that's the number we're going to do, y'all. Now, do we want to do anything to the number 43? Because we don't just have to leave them black like that. I like this card. What do y'all think? You like the 43 too, Maddie? Yeah. Oh, really, Dawn? Well, yeah, like me and my hubby too. So we have a really interesting, like, I love our love story. But I kind of briefly went over it the other day, and I was talking about how, like, we just lived a few miles apart. We actually, because I went to church, I ended up that I went to church and was friends with a sister of one of his friends, and I would go and watch them play soccer when we were in high school, not knowing my husband at the time, but he was like the star of the team. Then he came to one of my church lock-ins, and I'll never forget that because I was like, oh my gosh, who is that cute boy I've never seen before? Well, it was my future husband. I had no idea. We didn't meet that night, but I just saw him and was mesmerized. And then like all these run-ins, turns out he used to sack my groceries at the grocery store. So like our paths were always kind of running parallel to one another in a really interesting way. And it just took a number of years before we really connected. And then I used to promote a reggae band. I worked for a reggae band, and I would take our flyers into the music store where he worked so that they would hang up our flyers and sell our CDs. And he said, once we started dating, he's like, oh man, I always hoped I'd be there and working the day that you would come in. Like, he's like, that was always a highlight of mine. And I had met him in that music store the first day I moved to San Marcos, Texas. Like it just, but you know, some love stories, it just takes time before it's the right time. Ooh, I like that. Just grunging it up a little bit. So I used a little, so the oxides sit on top of things really well, and Distress inks blend in. They're a dye ink, but because the oxide has a little bit of pigment to it, it sits on top, and I like, it's not dramatic. It's just a real subtle kind of texture that was added to the 43. So let's do that. Ooh, I like them connected right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and commit to that. But yeah, so when I remember on one of our first dates, he's like, I just know we have to know some of the same people. Like, we just have to. And he was right. And we figured it out on our first date. Like, oh my gosh, you know this person? Yeah. And I know that person? Yeah. And then, you know, but we just weren't meant to be until we were meant to be. Okay. We did it. Whoa. My stuff is sliding over there. We did it, you guys. I'm going to put a little bit. I have some really thin foam tape I want to put back here, and I never use it because, like, I don't need the super thin foam tape most of the time. But I have it, so let's use it. It's right here. This is 1/4 inch, in case you're wondering, because super thin doesn't really equate to much, but it's a 1/4 inch foam tape. They also make 1/8 inch. I just don't want any part of it kind of sagging or getting messed up. I'm going to send this card to them. All right, so we will mount this on. I love stories too, Gloria. I love stories, and I love recreating stories in my card making and in my art. I discovered that, you know, going back into collage. It's like, man, I really love a story. I've always liked like storyteller kind of, like, used to back in the day. You could go and watch people recite short stories, like in bookstores and stuff. They might still do it. I'm just out of the loop. But I've just always loved storytelling. Whew, perfect. We did it. Let's put it on a card base now, and I can write them a message later. I hope they like it. It's so sweet to share a story with all of us and to share the encouragement. You know, we think we know what we want for our lives, but if we just relax a little, God's plan is greater. That's what I'm telling myself anyways. I like to just go with the flow. I'm not a planner. I don't like to plan things out too much. And hopefully that just opens me up to even more of God's mercy, grace, and miracles, right? There we go. It's going to be officially a card now. And I love that it's a 5x7 because that's a size you can frame easily. You can find a 5x7 frame anywhere and everywhere easily. What I like to do with mine when I am going to frame like a card like this is buy like an 8x10 with a 5x7 mat inside of it. So you have it matted, because I really like matted artwork. But there it is, you guys. I think we did a good job. Linda, it's your birthday? Happy birthday, girl. Are you 29 like me and Jay? Oh my gosh. Me and one of my close friends, we've been friends forever. It feels like. Anyways, we were catching up the other day. When we got done talking, like I had even taken a bath. Like we had just, you know, talked for a long time. And Sparkle Heart was like, that was a long conversation. I was like, well, we haven't talked in like 2 months. So yeah, we had a lot of catching up to do. But we were lamenting with one another, and I was like, I don't know, maybe our 40s is for self-realization, our 50s is just to deal with menopause, and our 60s are for fun. I have no idea. But I'm determined to have fun through all of it. Even if I have to take beef organs. I didn't see any of y'all say that you take Primal Queen. I'll tell you how it goes. I'm kind of a sensitive one though, because I a lot of herbs and supplements I can't take because they trigger my migraines. So I'm just hoping it doesn't trigger any migraines so I can actually take it. There is our card. Super cute. I like it. This was also to represent the years and the time, and you know, just let go and let God, right? So there it is. We did it. Hats off to all of you for hanging out with me while we paid homage to a beautiful love story. That was really fun. That was a whole lot of fun. You guys, you know, make a card for your loved one, your partner. Yesterday, y'all got to see my superhero version of one of me and my husband's Valentine's stories kind of played out on a card. He loved, by the way, that I captured that in a card. He was like, oh my gosh, that is such a funny memory. And I'm so glad that we like remember it and that you made a card to remind me of it and remind both of us of it. You know, like it just makes it more meaningful. I think as a card maker, we have the best hobby, but I'm a little partial. I'm just a wee bit partial. Hey, you know, it is Linda's birthday and I have this stuff cut and I'm not quite ready to go yet. So if you want to hang out just a wee bit longer, we're going to put this card to the side. We have finished it up. And I mean, I do already have a lot of things going on here. And I was a child who loved Soul Train. Oh my gosh, I would watch that show and dance in my living room like it was nobody was watching. It was nobody's business but me and Soul Train. So when I saw this in my collage book, I jumped on it. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that image right away. But then duty called and I had to be pulled away, and I never got to make anything with it. But basically, I want to make a real quick birthday kind of collage here. And before these things get lost or damaged in my craft room, let's make something. It won't take long. Most everything is cut out and ready to go. Okay, so the images back here, the birthday images, are Vintage Bontique on Etsy. I've shared Anton stuff multiple times. In fact, he had given you guys a great discount, and I think he used to give you guys like 50% off or something if you put in my coupon code. I don't even remember it. It's been a while. But he's wonderful, and I love his stuff. And that's where that birthday scene is from. And then these two people having a good old time is from one of my collage books. But yeah, it's time to get down. So what I did is I printed this, okay, let me show you. I printed this image twice. And then in the second image, I took pieces. I kind of thought about doing like a decoupage kind of thing. So like I have two of these. So essentially I could pop things up if I wanted to. And kind of pop these layers, all of these layers up. And then I think I'm going to put them right up here and then a happy birthday. Like it's really not complicated. Most of the work has been done. I was going to put them and make like a collage board with it, with just cardboard, but I think I'll make it a card instead. Vintage Bontique. I think that's how you spell it. J. I love the energy too, right? I love it. So let's do it. Let's just pop up these pieces back to the foam tape. I like the idea. So this is kind of like the British decoupage version of card making, where they pop up smaller and smaller die cuts of the same image to give it dimension. We don't do a lot of that here in the States. I never really see kits for it or anything, but I like it. So that was what I was basing this on. Somebody wants to go on a RIDE. She's in here making a case for it. Okay. So this is the 1/4 inch foam tape I'm using. Yeah, an awesome card. I had kind of prepped it. So it might be cheating to call it a 5-minute card. Okay, so there's that. We're going to pop up this other piece. We're going to pop up all the smaller pieces. I'm sorry for all of you, but I'm going to have to back them on like a sturdy cardstock because they're on the flimsy collage paper, and fussy cut them out again so I can pop them up too. Because this party is popping. All right. Happy birthday, Miss Linda Veal, and thanks for sharing some of your birthday with all of us. I love the question, by the way, Linda, that you asked last night on Craft Roulette. Jay, you had some good questions. And I liked your answer about like picking something that would just, where people get to pick the colors that make them happy, or, you know, like, I thought that was nice and sweet. All right. Good answer, Jay. Good answer. All right. And again. Yeah, I liked the questions. It was cool too finding out how you got into Craft Roulette from Sire. And yeah, I mean, it has been fun to watch it grow, right? Okie doke. Little piece here, little piece there, little pieces everywhere. Oh yeah, Linda, it's wonderful celebrating your birthday with you. Does this mean I get to have a cupcake today? Are you having a cupcake or a special treat today? I hope you are. Okay, so it may be hard to tell, but there is dimension here now. And I love the way it just pops up that skyline. And then these are going to go in here. Now, what I'm not loving, actually, is that I cut this short, and now we're seeing this line here. So how are we going to fix that situation? I'm not sure, because I don't love it. If my people go here, they're a bit of a distraction, but not enough. And this is going to go down here. Maybe it's okay with it down here lower. Let's pop this up and we'll get there. Hey, Jean. I did make a card. This is my second card. I'm like, where did I put the first card? Here's the first card, which was based on a love story that was sent to me. So we did a card that represented a love story. And now we're just doing a fun birthday card. Today's Linda's birthday. So we're going to party like it's 1999. And by party, I mean make cards. I bought a whole chocolate cake with whipped cream and strawberries. Good for you. I love that. Chocolate cake with whipped cream and strawberries. You are speaking my love language right now, Linda. That is awesome. Do you like a what's it, Black Forest cake that is chocolate with cherries in it? Ooh, I've always loved a Black Forest cake. That's a German cake, I think, and I love it. I think it's one of my favorites. I also love strawberry shortcake, both the character from the 80s and the cake itself. At work, every month they do a birthday celebration and they order special treats. And when I used to work in the office, that was like my favorite day of the month because they would order like 3 cakes and they did not do it cheaply. Like they ordered really nice from the really nice bakery, and it was always delicious, but there was always a strawberry shortcake. I just love the whipped cream and strawberries. Good thing Pam's not here. She doesn't need bad influence. She should be sleeping. She's trying to be good right now. Hi, Mary. Trying to make some templates. Cool. What are you making templates for? We're over here making cards. I'm almost done. I've been on for a while and we've been crafting for a while. We made a card, mixed media card. Ooh, chocolate cake with buttercream. I mean, all you have to say is chocolate cake and you've got me. You had me at chocolate, honestly. I've been trying to do better though. Like because pastries are my weakness, pastries and chocolate. So I've been trying to just buy Nutella and eat it with fresh apples. And that's my version of being good. I'm sure some people would scoff, but that's my version of being good. Yeah, that bothers me less, I guess. Bothers me less, I guess. I'm kind of thinking, let me see if I can find them. Maybe this is a peel off situation where instead of trying to not look at what bothers me, I just bring all the attention to it. So it's not like, I don't know, feels more intentional that way. But like maybe this is a situation for peel offs where, yeah, I just add some peel offs and I'm like, I meant to do that. I meant to cut that off awkwardly short. Mm-hmm. Yep, that fixed it for me. Hold on. Now, let's pick a different. I love these gold peel-offs. Something simple like this one. Because it's really thin and really simple. And we could just put this up some of the buildings to add a little light. My dog is not having it, y'all. She's ready for this live to conclude and her life to be enhanced with an RIDE. I like these peel-offs on here. It may not be real noticeable from where y'all are sitting, but see when I hold it up how those add like a lot of just like light. They're shining. It's perfect. Let's perfect addition. Add a little more. Pop some over here. At this point, I'm just kind of using the scraps off of my peel-off sheet. Ooh, that city is lit up now. Okay, last step is to pop these people up. So, peel-offs for the win. They saved me once again. Yes, they did. They saved me once again. And I'm going to grab a scrap of cardstock. Will they fit on this one? Sure will. The only reason I'm doing this is not to torture you, but because I need them to be more sturdy. See, I already bent a leg. If I'm going to pop them up. If you're gluing it straight down, it doesn't really matter. But if you're popping it up, it does. And this party is popping. We already declared that. So So just gonna glue them down and cut them out again. She is definitely the star of the show. She's got those bell bottoms on. I think Kendrick Lamar might single-handedly bring back the bell bottoms. Wearing them at the Super Bowl in such a stylish way. You guys, I heard that Taylor Swift spent, and I hope it was a typo and like a mistake, but she spent $65,000 on her Super Bowl outfit. It was nothing more than a pair of cutoff shorts, a t-shirt, and some boots. I hope they meant $6,500 because, no. Girl, you could have gone to the thrift store. I'm just saying. I heard someone the other day say something like, if Elon Musk is worth $300 billion and there's only so many people, a few billion on the planet, he could give everyone $1 billion and still have a couple hundred billion left or something. And I was like, oh, that's a good point. I obviously don't hold on to numbers very well, but I thought it was insightful, and I would sign that petition. I think it's all made up numbers. In the end, that's what I think. I know. I know. And, you know, there's a part of me that gets it. Like, if you've worked really hard to get where you are, I don't think you should have to just give it all away to complete strangers. But it would be cool. You definitely go down in history. Oh, yeah, the party's on. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, 6,500 is still a lot, but 65,000, I still feel like that must have been a type. Like, surely not. That's all I can say is surely not. We need a birthday sentiment, and then we can go. Well, I also need to put this on a card. I do recognize that. Could it be one of my simple woodblock happy birthdays? It could. It most certainly could. Grab another scrap. Well, I hope whatever y'all are doing today is a whole lot of fun. Sounds like people are dealing with a whole lot of cold weather. I don't know. I tried using, that wasn't great. I tried using, and that's crooked, fussy cut scissors, and that's crooked another way. Jeez Louise. Whatever. I give up. Yeah, I tried using fussy cut scissors, like the small ones, early on when I started card making, and I have just never loved them. So I've just kind of always cut with the biggest scissors I can find. I mean, I will use them sometimes, but most of the time I just go for the big ones. They just make my hands happy. I was sitting with Letty, Party Planner Papery, at a crop, and she's like, I think it's the way you hold your scissors. I think that's why you don't like fussy cut scissors, because she had just bought the Cutter Bee little yellow and black ones. And I was like, oh, let me try those. I've always wanted to try those. And I was like, yep, nope. I mean, immediately I did not like them. And she's like, it's the way you hold them. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that probably is it. I should have known it was more of a me problem than anything. But yeah, I evidently hold my scissors funny. So those little bitty, the only ones I do like are like these that have like an open handle, or these. If I have to start putting my fingers in little holes, and no, my hands, I can't do that. But I do like these. And I think for me, it comes down to the handle. That's what I've figured out so far. All right, let's glue these happy folks down. I'm going to glue this card down, and I'm going to let you guys go. I like them right there. I had them lower before, but they're going to be fine right there. And then we'll put this down, and I might even put a little gold peel off below it. I don't even know what size this measures. So, but I'm sure it's going to go on a 5x7 card. It's not an A2. Ooh, I don't think this one will work necessarily, but let's try. It's fancy. I think these, if you're wondering, I think these are hot off the press, and I think they're from my friend, made in Holland. Rhonda sent those to me. I didn't know hot off the press made peel-offs, but evidently they've made them for a really long time. And she sent some to me. But Love from Lizzie also makes and sells a lot of peel-offs. Okay. Linda Gorman, hi. All right. Linda, we've been making cards. Made the love card for Heidi Robbins. It was a mixed media. I'll show it here at the end. And now we're just kind of playing and making a card that I had sitting off to the side, and just kind of, because it's Linda Veal's birthday, so I thought, let me make a birthday card too. I've had this one sitting off to the side for a while. Oh yeah, I like that. And I actually like it with the big white border because it's such a busy card. So we're just going to glue it right down, and I'm going to head out. I'm going to fight the urge to go thrifting with my mom, even though I kind of want to go thrifting with my mom. Thing is I need to purge, not acquire new things. And I don't need to spend money. I need to save money. Oh boy. But my heart's at the thrift store. What am I supposed to do about that? Okay. There we go. We did it, you guys. That's true, Mary. There we go. How fun is that? They are having a good old time. Linda, happy birthday. And then 2 totally different cards. And then here's the first card we made, the mixed media card. So you could go back and watch that and hear the whole story. And then here's the birthday cards. So we made 2 cards today. I don't know how long it took. It was just fun and we had a good time. Linda, enjoy your day. You hear me, Maddie? You understand? You're with me. Maybe if I took things with me to the thrift store and I like de-stash before I bring anything home. And then I might not even bring anything home and then I would come out on top, right? Because I would have at least gotten rid of some things. I have a box of stuff. I have curtains and shoes and water bottles, and I have a whole box of stuff to take to the thrift store. So there is that. I love you guys. I have the best time hanging out with y'all. I am so grateful that you hang out with me and spend your time with me. I'm so honored. Thank you so much. I'm just really, really grateful. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you'll, record one of your stories in the version of a card. Like, think of a story that you want to capture and see if you can make a card that represents that story, because it's a whole lot of fun. It's just a whole lot of fun. I'm glad you're here too, Dawn. I'm glad all of y'all were here. Glad it was fun too. All right, you all. I'm heading out. That's it. I'll see y'all on Monday. I promise we're going to play with my paper packs because I kind of can't wait. I'm real excited. And I haven't had a chance yet because we've had other things on the agenda. But soon enough, we will be doing that. So love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye.